Hello, I am Joy Onyeso, your host of the Friday Night Hangout. I am delighted to formally welcome you to our first season, season 6. Yay! This is our first season in the year 2022. Friday Night Hangout is a community of like-minded individuals who are willing to give themselves the permission to play full out by learning, unlearning, and relearning skills, strategies, and attitudes required to live a life of unlimited abundance, both in their personal and professional lives. This season, we would start off with conversations on repositioning yourself for growth, understanding value-laden relationship that takes you to the next level. And we will also be talking about breaking bias for gender and development. I want you to come fully loaded on board into this season. So invite your family, your friends, your loved ones. Come, let us learn and celebrate ourselves in the first season of the year, episode 81 of our season 6. Now, if you want to change the results you've been getting over the years, you have to change the way you do things. And in this season, we are giving you that opportunity to learn new strategies and skills. I look forward to engaging with you every Friday night at 7 p.m. West African time on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Make it a date with me. You wouldn't regret being part of this tribe. See you on the next episode of Friday Night Hangout. Hey, welcome. Welcome, good evening. Welcome to the 101st episode of the Friday Night Hangout. Who is excited to be here? I see you, goodness. Welcome. Princess, welcome. Iroma, Stella, and a lot of you I cannot see. Please do, I crave your indulgence to please forgive me if I don't mention your name. It's not deliberate. Hello, Decca's Groceries. I see your new branding. Good, amazing. Hello, Rosemary. Tommy. How are you doing? I'm excited to be here, and do forgive the background and then the noises to be here filtering in. I'm actually in Ekiti State for the gubernatorial elections, and tomorrow is the due day, so we actually have less than um, 12, 14 hours to the gubernatorial election. So I'm in the situation room right now, and I'm running this from the situation room. This is when we talk about the power of consistency, showing up even when it's difficult to do so. Today is one of those days that is actually almost impossible to show up. But here I am with you tonight. I don't like to miss our Friday night hangout. So welcome everyone from wherever you're joining in. A very big welcome to you. And please do let me know where you're joining in from. If you're in Enugu, Lagos, wherever, just put it in the chat box. As always, I want to know where you're joining in from. And in this month, we continue our conversation on leveraging on social media. Hello, Ihechi, how are you doing? Last week was really late. Last week was exciting. We celebrated our 100th episode and also the second year anniversary of Friday Night Hangouts. I'm your host, Joy Onyeso, as usual. Always very exciting to welcome you. Now, the story of Friday Night Hangouts is one of consistency, one of passion, one of value, one of transformative change. So I want to appreciate everyone that tuned in last week. And I came in person to the studio to attend our milestone episode, the 100th episode. So this is the first time we're coming into a new season after the 100th episode. So this is the 101st episode, 101. I also can't believe it. Really, this is huge. And the story continues, right? And so this month of June, We're talking about celebrating possibilities, and we're also looking at leveraging on social media. For today, we're going to be talking about leveraging on social media for your brand visibility. And everything I'm going to be doing in the month of June is going to be laced with conversations on the possibilities, the limitless possibilities that exist. If only you can commit to playing full out, commit to showing up, being consistent, commit to being your authentic through self. You don't need anyone to validate you. Oh, Iroma says, yes, last week was awesome. Vivian Okore says, joining from Port Harcourt. Goodness from Enugu. Welcome you all. Keep dropping it in. Let me know where you're joining in from and how you're doing. EHG from Enugu, very good. I honestly love and celebrate you. It's not easy to always, tune in by 7. And I want to encourage you, please keep tuning in. This is our safe space. This is a safe space where we learn, we unlearn, and we relearn. Learning is a lifelong habit. The day you stop learning, that day you start dying. Hello, my sister Stella from Connecticut, USA. It's always a pleasure to see you join us in. And you know what? Stella and myself share the same birthday. So next week, Wednesday, we'll both be celebrating our birthdays in different parts of the world. I appreciate you, my sister Stella. Princess says, joining from Enugu. This is Princess Obiajuno Ubu, aka Splendor Kitchen. Yay! Good, 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 good. So happy to see you. Now, if you haven't gotten your writing materials, I'm going to give you some time. Go get your writing material. Today is going to be lit. Today we're going to be having very, very interesting conversation. Now, if you're in social media and you are an entrepreneur, you are a business person, you are a professional, or an individual who influences, and you want to up your game, you want to leverage on the new technology to create added advantage for your business and the customers you serve, then this is a space you need to hang out with this month, right? I'm going to give you some time to get your writing material and get settled in. And as always, please use the chat box. Let's make it very energetic. Let's make it lively. Ask your questions, share your experiences, because we are all learning together. I do not take for granted this space. This is a huge space. And let me tell you all, next week, Wednesday, I'm going to be formally presenting the Friday Night Hangout book, the series one of the Friday Night Hangouts book. And you don't want to miss this book. In fact, I was sharing with some colleagues that I was going through the content of the 2020 Friday Night Hangout conversation. I help the tears that were practically rolling down my cheek. It was deep. I was reading through the comment, the conversation. I was just screaming. I was just like, wow, too much content, too much content. I'm so excited. I took this decision to compile this into a conversation like experience. So when you get the book, it will almost be like if you're the one that hangs out with me on Friday night hangout. It will almost feel like when you're reading it, it will almost feel like you're right in the Friday night hangout space. So we're going to be looking at some of the thematic areas we dealt with in 2020. I know a lot of us have forgotten those content. A lot of us as well cannot go back to those content to look at. So, and that's why I'm bringing and serving it fresh. So just get ready to get your own copy. You're ready to grab your copy. And for now, we have it just in hard copy. And later, we'll be looking at making it into a soft copy. Just come ready. We're going to open up sales. We're going to open up pre-sales on Monday. So get ready for your pre-sales order on Monday so that you can get it at a good rate, you lock in rate. Because from Wednesday, when it's launched, after Wednesday, actually, when it's launched, the rates become different. And I promise you, I always bring you content of value. This one is really, really it. This is really it. Is in a 3 series episode. I'm going to be releasing the first series on Wednesday, and then over the course of the next couple of months up to early next year, you get the other ones. So come ready and get set to buy the whole series. It's going to be in the 3 to 5 series. Just get ready to get your copy, right? It's really, really great. And this particular one, we're looking at things for women entrepreneurs, the secrets to growing your brand, and all of those. This is one book that you would get and you can run so far with it. It's one book you can just take, you're lying down, you're going to work, you're in your office, you want to take a break, you're at home, you want to relax, you need to go. This book, it will be your to go book. This book would actually be to your to go book. Trust me when I say this. So let's get down to our conversations today. Remember that we're still talking about creating possibilities, and tonight we're going to focus on leveraging on social media for brand growth. And today I want to look specifically on using the social media for added visibility. So sit tight. If you're in business, if you are a professional, whatever it is, brand influencer, you want to grow your brand, you want to grow your personal influence, let's have this conversation. I want to start from looking at what visibility is all about. We use this word. I'm a trainer, I'm a teacher, I'm a lecturer as well, and I'm a coach. I like to break down concepts so that everyone understands what it is. We're on the same page. And so when you're using the word, you know what you're using. When you're doing it, when you're taking that action, you have deep understanding of what it is you are doing. Right? Okay. Now, let's just have the basics of visibility 101. What really is visibility? And in very simple terms, visibility is any action you take to show your presence, either your product presence, your service presence, your services present, and it could be for your business, it could be for your um, personal brand, or for your profession. So anything you take about that brings added um, added presence of your business, where people get to know what you do, who you are, and people get to engage with your business. That is all about visibility. As the word said, visible. Make yourself visible, making sure that people see you, people know you, people engage with you. That is what it is about visibility. So I want to look at three concepts of visibility, three key elements of visibility. The first one I will look at is know you. The second one I'll look at is engage with you. And the third one I'll look at is buy you. And I'm making it very deliberate and personalizing it so you take ownership of it. So when you understand visibility, the aim of visibility from these three key elements, then you are already 90% really in making your presence more visible, making your presence more known, or in creating added awareness of your brand, or of your brand, actually, of yourself, if it's a personal brand or business brand. So the first one I talked about is know you. Now, you cannot talk about visibility without talking about the key concept of knowing you. Knowing you is when we get to understand who you are. We can't engage with you, we can't buy you if we do not know you. So knowing you precedes engaging with you, precedes buying you. But unfortunately, many new businesses, many new vendors, many new entrepreneurs or professionals, you want to jump to buying you. How can we buy you when we do not know you, when we haven't engaged with you? It is not possible. It is not possible. There has to be a level of knowing, engaging before buying happens. Now, when I get to buying, I'm going to talk about a different way that can happen. But let's focus on knowing you. And remember that we're talking about leveraging on social media to create added visibility. And we're looking at key elements: know you, engage you, buy you. So we're talking about know you. Now, how can you leverage on social media to know you? Listen, the first step in knowing you, in people, your audience knowing you, is for you to know yourself. So the know happens on two levels as well. The first level is internal level, and the second level is external level. Just a minute. Okay, just a minute. I was trying to look at my back end message. So, know you happens on two levels. The first one is you knowing yourself internally, and then your audience getting to know your audience, your clients, your customers getting to know you. That's external. Let's start from the internal. If you don't know yourself, if you're not authentic, it is very difficult for people to engage with you. Because another word for engage with you is connect with you. And it is when you're authentic, when you are real, when you show up in your true self, that is when the connecting with you, engaging with you happens. So if you don't know yourself, if you are still in business and you're struggling around being authentic, you're struggling around knowing what your brand is all about, you're struggling about knowing how to even market yourself, then you know you haven't known you. If you're struggling with your messaging in marketing yourself, then you haven't got to the place of deep understanding of knowing you. So as an entrepreneur, as a business, as a professional, as a person who influence, who wants to influence, you need to start from knowing you. How can you know you? I get this question sometimes. How can I know me? In some coaching classes, that's what I get. I don't know myself. Is this really me? And I will say knowing you is a very deep process. It's a journey. It's a journey, and every day is a process. It's not something that happens one off. It's not something that just happen in a day. It is a lifelong process. And when you're committed to knowing you, you would understand that you meet today is not the same you tomorrow. You know why? Every day you engage, there is something new deposited in you because you're engaging with an organic environment. Now, what do I mean? The people you talk with, the people you relate with, the people that either make you sad, happy, all of this is part of knowing you. You know your trigger points, you know your happy points, you know your passion. When you get to that point, that is when your confidence level will soar. So if you're dealing with confidence issue, it's also because you do not know yourself. If you're dealing with self-esteem issue, it's also because you do not know yourself. So I'll tell you tonight, can you spend some time in knowing you? Can you give yourself the permission to meet you? Can you give yourself the permission to meet you so that you can show up your authentic self to serve those you've been called to serve? If you do not know you, how do you know who to serve? If you do not know you, how do you get to engage? How do you get to transform? How do you get to impact? So it's very important that you get to know you. And like I said, it's a process. This is one of the process. When conversations like this happen, do not take it for granted. Oh, this is not for me. I know you. I pay attention to this because every day we evolve. So you get to know you to a point where when you're evolving, you know you're evolving, you're getting comfortable with the new you because you need to get comfortable with it. This is really very critical, my dear. Me taking time to discuss this is very critical because I see sadly a lot of women entrepreneurs, a lot of women professionals. You're not proud of yourself, you're not proud of your brand, you're not confident because you do not know you. You're not even confident to spend time with you. You need to spend time with you. You need to give yourself permission to meet you, to enjoy yourself, to enjoy your presence. And this is all part of the process of getting to know you. When you have gone through this process and get to a certain level where you're confident of knowing what your value is, what makes you happy, what makes you trigger, what all those things you do, then you can now go to the next level, which is, your external level, making people get to know you, value you, and you setting boundaries. You can't set boundaries if you do not know yourself. You can't get people to be authentic with you if you do not know who your authentic self is. So it's good to have models. Is it good to have coaches? It's good to have mentors. It's good to have all of those. But the essence of all of this is for you to discover you and do you and not anyone else. If you try to do anyone else, you become a copy. And when you're a copy version, your value is not really on a high level. You cannot get a copy version that is more expensive than the authentic. So why do you want to be a copy? Why do you want to be a copy? Right? Why do you want to be a copy? And so it is that you that you know that helps you say, this, I don't like this, I cannot do this, And now it's not just saying it, it's even the way you present yourself, it's even the way you engage, and the people can engage with you on that level. Good. We've gotten to this point where you know yourself. You're comfortable in showing up as yourself. Listen, knowing yourself doesn't mean that you're perfect. Knowing yourself doesn't mean that you're too strong. I still deal with my weaknesses. I still deal with my pains. I still deal with my fears. Because I know me and I'm confident that the me that there is has so much to give. I am I am so comfortable showing up in my skin. I am so comfortable coming out to do what I know I've been created to do. I am so confident in coming out to add value. So what it is about you, people would love to meet. What it is about you that can create transformation. What is it about you that is building legacies for generations to come? I don't want you to dismiss yourself. You can't prosper in business. You can't be successful in your profession if you are not confident in yourself. Honestly, you can't be successful. And now when I talk about success, I'm not talking about money, right? Success is much more than money. When I talk about abundance, so sometimes you have to talk about abundance, you have to talk about money, you have to talk about wealth. It's not all about money, it's not all about finances. It's the whole picture of it. And for you to be successful in any other endeavor, you need to have a successful personal presence, personal awareness, a heightened level of your personal awareness, right? And when you've done this, this is even what tells you, what your passion are, what your gifts or your talents are, what you need to improve, and all of that. So if you do not know all of this, it's difficult to even know the areas you have weaknesses. Because when you do not know your weaknesses, how can you grow? How can you enhance your strength? So this is very key. Then we move to the second element of visibility, which is engage you. Engage. When people engage you, they connect with you. How can I connect with you when I don't even know you because you do not know you? So today I see one version of you, tomorrow I see the next version of you, next tomorrow I see another version of you. You leave me confused. So it's difficult for me to connect. As when I see people, having multiple personalities, I really realize that they're struggling with identity issues. There's an identity crisis there. Knowing you also gets to do with you self-defining yourself, your identity. You have multiple identities, but there's always a predominant identity, and you need to self-define, right? Otherwise, society will define you. So know that when people connect with you, they engage with you. So who is the you? Who is the me that people are connecting with? And don't be ashamed for people to know you. I told you last week, I vent. And I vent. And I want you to know me venting. I am happy. I want you to know me happy. I'm not happy. I want you to know me not happy. People connecting with you is you in your entirety. It's not just the good aspect of you. It's not just your strength. It's also about your weakness and your strength, the entirety of you. And you know what? It inspires a lot of people because you've gone through a journey. No matter how far below you think you are, there are still people that are learning from you. There are still people that you've gone a step ahead of. And your story, your journey can inspire those people. So if you don't do all of this, then you're depriving people of the opportunity of knowing you, of meeting you, of engaging with you, and that is not fair to you and to those you've been called to serve. Give us the permission to connect with you. Give us the permission. Thank you so much, EH, for summarizing what is happening on the chat. Thank you. This is great. Give us the permission to know you, to connect with you. You may think people don't know. Listen, let me tell you the truth. When you're authentic, I don't know how many of you have heard me speak about communication. Communication, 90% of our communication is non-verbal. So you communicate your body language, your vibes are all communicating. So you think it's only what you say. And when you meet someone, a group of people that have a discerning spirit, they can just pick out when you're acting up. So when you're being real, when you're being sincere, there is a vibe that goes out of you to the next person or to people and make them connect. So it connects to people who are meant to connect to that vibe, meant to connect to that energy that you give out. And so I'm also telling you, do not worry when everyone doesn't connect with you. In fact, it's a problem if everyone connects or engage with you. So be comfortable and be at peace. Know that you're not meant to serve everyone and you're not meant to connect with everyone. That doesn't mean you should go and be nasty to people. Just be you, your authentic self. And those you're meant to serve, those you're meant to be in relationship with, we connect with you. Haven't you come across certain persons that it's not as if you have anything against them, or it's not as if you have any animosity against them, but you just cannot connect. You just cannot connect. No matter how hard you try, you cannot connect with them. Why? Because it's not meant to be. So stop pushing it. Be yourself. And if you're one that has a message and you're ready and willing to share your message to the world, those who your message is for will connect to you. You get me? So connection is very key. Now, when people don't know you, they can't connect with you. And when people can't connect with you, they cannot buy you. When they don't connect with you, they cannot buy you. So rather than just jumping from zero to buying you, why don't you go through the steps? Get people to know you, get people to connect with you. You see on Facebook now, let me use Facebook. Remember, we're talking about leveraging on social media. And I'm going to pause now going to the social media angle. Now, on social media, some of us don't put our pictures. Now, you may run in a course or a campaign, and once in a while you put that picture or DP, that's fine. But I want to know who I'm connecting with. I want to see you. You have identity, no social media presence, because you don't put your DP, you don't post any content on your page. All you do is keep sharing. And then before I accept friend requests these days, I go through your profile. When I see someone that keeps sharing content, I don't accept those kind of friendship. You know why? Because I don't know the person, and the person is not going to give me an opportunity to know. Don't forget that social media, Facebook, is meant to connect us for us to get to engage and to be friends. Facebook friends. Meaning that you're meant to be my friend. For you to be my friend, you have to connect with me. So don't get it twisted. If you can't connect with me and be my friend, how can you buy from me? If you can't connect me as a vendor and as an entrepreneur, how can you buy from me? So when you're on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, or wherever, pay attention to the kind of DP that you put up. It's also part of building that visibility. You want to build a presence. Building visibility is about building a presence. Building a presence on social media. So we're talking about how can you leverage on social media to build a presence. You know, social media has a community, it's a global community. So unlike when you have an offline office where when people don't come to you, they don't get to see you. Now with social media, means anyone in part of the globe can get to engage with you, can get to know you, can get to engage with you, can get to buy you. So I want you to keep that in mind. People are on social media for different reasons. So, and that is okay. Now, I'm specifically addressing vendors, entrepreneurs that want to grow their brand visibility using the social media. And if you're not that set of people, then it's fine to be non-intentional about how you engage or leverage on social media. But if you belong to the class of people who want to grow brand visibility, who want to grow an income using the social media, then you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional in showing up. You can't just show up anyhow. You have to show up in an intentional way because you want to attract the right audience. Otherwise, you're going to attract the wrong audience to connect with you. Right? And so the other bit of connecting is also about the content you put out. With the content you put out, people can connect with you. They can connect to your story, they can connect to your experience, they can connect to the knowledge, they can connect to your expertise. It has to be something they connect with. So ask yourself, what is it I want to be doing on the social media? You don't want to come up with posts every single day. Buy this, I sell shoe, I have a coaching program. No. You also want to have people relax when they come into your presence. People to be buying from you all the time. You want to give people some other kind of content that they can engage with on your page. So ask yourself, What kind of content do I put out on my page? What kind of content do I put out? There has to be very intentional way of engaging. Now, when we also talk about, now I've talked about content, I've talked about showing up, and I'm also going to talk about you deliberately going out to connect as well. How many persons do you connect with? Facebook works on an algorithm. And so the more you show up, the more you interact on people's posts, the more you become visible. So that kind of visibility grows with you engaging on other people's posts. So if you're not deliberate, engaging on other people's posts, then you're making a mistake. I see, or sometimes I read, and sometimes when I have Facebook, like some people comment that you do not click on my page. Some people actually come to my inbox to say, I celebrated you on your birthday. I did this. You did not celebrate my birthday. You did not celebrate this. You did not celebrate that. Listen, you're not doing me a favor. If you're a business, if you want to grow your personal brand, you're also doing yourself a favor by connecting. So the more you connect, the more you comment, the more you put down comments around on people's posts and engage with people's posts, the more Facebook begins to show up your content or your page to other people. Let me share my personal experience with you. I think I joined Facebook in 2010, right? I've been either 2010, whenever I started, but I know it's been a long time. I'm an extroverted introvert. I love my personal space a lot. And so that's why even till tomorrow, I'm not so active on WhatsApp groups or any of those groups. I'm not, except it's for a purpose. I do that and I leave. Now, I wasn't taking the Facebook seriously. I wasn't taking social media seriously. I had joined all forms of Facebook. I know I was on LinkedIn, I think maybe as far back as 2011. I was on Instagram almost the same time, Facebook. So I had opened up social media channels, right? But I had no intentions about them. Perhaps one, because then people were not even thinking about, then there was not much noise or effort around selling or engaging like that on social media. So I wasn't that kind of person. So if you look at my profile, you would see that I've been on for a number of years. But do you know when I began intentionally engaging with social media in fact, when I got very intentionally engaged with social media was in 2020, about 2 years and some months ago. 2014, 2015, I can come in and in the next 3 to 4 months, I won't be on the media. I can come in 6 months, I'm not on social media. But it was actually from 2020 that I became very consistent on using the social media. I would show up. I would do stuff I need to do. Sometimes I don't show up every day. So showing up doesn't mean you have to turn up every day. It depends on what works for you and what you want to do with the social media. So it depends on what it is. And that some people show up every day and they don't get that kind of visibility. Some people show up once in a while and they get more visibility. So it's for you to study what you do when you show up, being intentional. And as soon as I started engaging, my post started going viral. People will get to see more of my post. Before I could share a post and I wouldn't even get one like. But I wasn't bored because I wasn't sharing it to get the likes. I hope I'm ministering to someone tonight. I was sharing it because that's how I felt. It was from the outpour of my spirit. I wanted to share that. And I would say, if anyone says it, fine. And certain persons will even see your post without liking, without commenting. Be fine with that. So show up. You're not doing anyone a favor. Post, comment, engage with people, wish them happy birthday. That's why it's a social media. It's a social community where you engage and connect. So if you're not engaging, less people will begin to see your post. So stop fighting and quarreling with people in inbox that did not like your comment, they did not share your comment. Probably they did not see it. So I want also to tell that even less than 2/3 of people in your friend list get to see your post on a daily basis. So you want your post to be shown to friends, and more people. Check your setting and make sure your setting is public. You cannot be an entrepreneur or someone who is engaging on social media and you want to grow visibility and your page is set on private. When it's set on private, it means that it's only your friends that can see you. So go to your setting and change your setting so that your setting comes to public. So anybody can see you. Anybody, and then change your setting to comment. Anybody can comment on your page. So when you lock your page, lock all that, how can people see you? How can people engage with you? And listen, let me tell you one other secret. It's not all about having 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 2 million thousand followers. It's all about what you do with that community or that audience. We'll come to that when we talk about buying. It's more about what you do with them. And that brings, before you get to that point, it means you already need to know how to know yourself, engage with them. So ask yourself, how are you connecting with people? So I'm giving you some of the tips. When we finish now, go and check your setting. What is your setting like? Public, private? Who can comment on your post? How many people's posts do you also connect with? All of this is part of it. If you don't comment on people's posts, less people will be seeing, fewer people will be seeing your post. So you want more people to see your post, then engage more on social media. Don't go fighting or quarreling with people that saw your post. They did not comment, they commented. Sometimes they didn't even see your post. Sometimes they don't see your post. So go around and comment and engage as much as possible. If you're on social media, then you want to engage more. Listen, you can have, if you have an audience of 1,000, 500, 200, 2,000, it means that these are the audience that you have an opportunity to sell you for them to buy you. Can you imagine if you have 500 customers? So don't look down on the number of persons that engage with you. It's not until you have 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 that sales begin to happen. No, it's not. It's not until you have those kind of places. So be very intentional about your page, the content you put, and all of those. Very, very key, right? So that people can connect with you, know you. And periodically let people see aspects of you. You see, sometimes I'm goofing around, I'll come to Facebook to do it. I'm deliberate in what I'm doing. Sometimes I share fun moments, I share anxiety moments, I share happy moments. I let you see different aspects of me. And the truth, I let you see only the part I know. It's not all about me that I put on social media. I would advise you to know what it is you want people to see in terms of what you want to engage with you on. If you have a personal issue and bring it on social media, then you're giving people an invitation to treat. And so stop saying it's not their business, why they're engaging. You've given them an open call to treat. Whatever you don't want them to engage with, please don't bring it to social media. Keep it in the private space. I hope I'm speaking to someone. Keep it in the private space. So before you post, I want you to think, do you want this information public? Do you want this information to be one that everyone will engage with? I see a lot of drama because you want to get followership, you want to get viewership, you want to get likes, you want to get comments. You're putting out a lot of things and make yourself so vulnerable when you are not ready to handle the vulnerability you're throwing out there. So for everything you're putting out there, be sure that you're willing and you're ready to handle it. If you cannot, step back. Step back. Yes, people like sensation. So you want to be sensation. You're putting out everything. Listen, the social media keeps track. 10 years down the line, those things you said today will come back. So, people grow every day, but a certain drama you don't want to have around you. And if you've been following me for a while, you said I'm in zero drama space. I don't have time for drama. I don't have time for trending issues. I don't poke my nose into what doesn't concern me. Listen is a very intentional practice. It's a principle. So don't see my wall being one for drama. Issue will be trending up and down. It's not as if I don't know, but I'm not bringing it to my wall. I don't want to engage on those issues on my wall. So define how you want your space. How do you want your page to look like? So you want to leverage on social media and decide the results you want to get and then work backwards for anything you want to say, to manifest. Think about it, envision it, and then work backwards. What actions do I need to take? And that brings me to the final element of visibility I'm talking about tonight, and that is buy you. How can I buy you if I don't know you? How can I buy you if I cannot connect with you? How can I do that? You just jump out and say, I sell this hair, da 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 da. It is, even if you're selling 50 naira, people will not buy you, they do not connect. I have these glasses, it is beautiful. People will not sell if they do not connect. Because over time, you're also building a credibility, you're also building a footprint on social media. And this is where the influencers leverage on. So social media influencing comes from a position where people have built credibility with their audience. People have built a track record and they have built a followership from that connection. So they could say this pen is this, you want to buy it. And because they have a number of people connected to them, sales happen. So people are not really buying you from you. They're buying you because the influencer says this is this price. They are buying because of the influencer. So that's why I said there are multiple ways of people buying you. They can buy you from referral. Someone says, oh, this. Sometimes I do that. I come to my page and I say, oh, I have this. This person sold this cloth. I love it. And then next time I'll get a call from maybe my clothes here saying, somebody called me. She said she saw one cloth you're wearing on Facebook. You showcased on Facebook. And that this is the number. I want to make exactly that, but different color. That's how it happens. So people would necessarily not have known my tailor or my fashion designer. They come with different names depending on the skills that they have. So people necessarily wouldn't have known my fashion designer if I hadn't put that there on my page. And because they've seen what I'm wearing and they can see the value and they're connecting to me, they are willing to give it a try to connect to her. And this is where our social media influencers also get into some troubles. So that's why you see currently a number of them are now putting disclaimers saying, I'm selling this, but I do not vouch. So that you don't start holding them responsible when things happen. You need to discern and you need to make your own decision to whether to buy or not to buy. Now, there's also the non-monetary value you get when people buy you. So buying you doesn't necessarily mean financial exchange. I want to talk about the non-monetary aspects of buying you and the monetary aspects of buying you. Now, a number of us entrepreneurs focus on the monetary aspect of buying you. Let me start with the non-monetary aspect because time is really running. I'm always so amazed how when we're Friday night hangout, the hour, the second, the minutes just run so fast. So I'm just trying to put a lot out tonight before we move on to next week, right? To try and conclude our conversations. Now, people can buy you in a non-monetary aspect when they follow you, when they engage with you. No money is exchanging hands. Right? No money is exchanging hands. But if you put out something to say, this is this, they follow, they like, they do, and they can patronize somebody else because you say so. They are connected to you so they can buy you. The money doesn't come directly to you from them. But they are buying you because they are buying your authentic self. They are buying your personality. They are buying your cloud. They're all about you. So I want you to calm down. You have to count 1, 2, 3 before you go to 20. Rome was not built in a day. I spoke about it last week and I said, if you're in business here, you've done 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and you're not making as much sale as you want to, please still appreciate yourself that you're still in business. Right? Every year, there is something you're getting. Every year, there's something you're knowing and you're transforming. It's all part of the getting to the buying you process. So the first part, the knowing you, the engaging with you, doesn't happen overnight. So if you're in business and you're in your first year, second year online, you're selling on social media, people are watching. They're still getting to know you. They're still getting to connect with you. It may take 12 months. It may take 24 months. It may take 36 months. It may take whatever. But people are still getting to know you. People are still getting to connect with you. Before the sales happen, before the buying you happens, which could be sales in terms of money or non-monetary value engagements with you. So calm down. So you can also pay an influencer to promote you and all that. But the truth is, if you're not yet ready for that, and what do I mean by ready? Let me break it down. You just started business today. The next thing you want to run social media ads. And social media ads come in different forms. It could be through the influencer, it could be through sponsored ads, and you're out there. You haven't even taken time to understand the space, the channel you're using, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You haven't taken time to understand that channel, how the space works. And the next thing you want to start running ad. You're going to make a lot of mistakes that will be so visible. And that's why they start small. No matter how well intentioned you are, no matter how well skilled you are, you are still going to make mistakes. So keep the mistake on a small level, and then be confident in yourself. Be willing to start small and grow your brand. I don't know why a lot of people are in a hurry. Because if you don't have the structure, when sometimes people will be posting and you don't even go back to respond to comments. You're not positioned to do that. You're not responding, you're not giving feedback, people cannot engage with you. You're still trying to figure out all those things, and then you're advertising. You can handle the visibility you're getting. And visibility is not a one-off thing. For every content you've put, let me tell you, sometimes everything happens to you, happens to me. Sometimes people start commenting on a post I made years ago, 12 months ago. So as far as anything you put on social media, it's there. It's there, it's anchored. It's there. So be very careful and don't give up hope. Everything you put, that's why digital materials never expire. Whether it be an e-book, e-magazine, and all of that, it never expires. It's always very valid, right? Always very valid. So focus, really, really focus on building you, knowing your product. Let me tell you, it happened to me. When I start a new product, you envision something, you bring it to manifestation. It takes you time. There's a testing period and a refining period where you will be watching, getting feedbacks, you're improving, and then you get to a space. It's just like the She Speaks Summit. This year, in fact, next week, Friday and Saturday, we'll be having the 5th anniversary of the She Speaks Summit. This is the 5th year. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. Even COVID, I showed up during the She Speaks Summit. We had people register online. But what I did was I made it a free registration for 2020 so people could just join in. And listen, it doesn't matter whether you're 1% or 10% or 100%. Play full out. Some of you, because you see 1 or 5 persons, you never know. One person may be equal to 100 people. So don't look down on any client that you have. That is one thing I do not do. I treat all my clients as special people equally. Some of you pick and choose. The ones you feel are affluent, you give them treatment. The ones you feel are not, and you miss it. If you meet people who can afford to buy certain things, but they are very humble, they are not showy, how would you know? How would you know? It's not a good and smart way to run your business. You can only begin to differentiate your customers based on how they engage with your business. So that is why they have customer loyalty rewards program. So you can do that, but it has to be based on the engagement with your business, not just on your pre-assumption that this person can afford, this person cannot afford. You treat this one nice, you treat this one hard. It's not a good style to run a business. It's not a good style at all. So if you've been practicing that, I want you to leave it behind and let's start together in this new season, right? So be very willing to start small and grow your brand. Be very intentional about what you're putting out. And if you're not proud to show yourself up, how can somebody show you up? You are not carrying your matter on your head. How will you carry your matter on your head? I have a number of women entrepreneurs that I mentor on the social media space. And there was one I took an interest in. I said, I've gone through your wall. I don't see anything tangible. What do you do? She told me what she does. I said, but I've not seen it on your wall. How? I said, be proud of what you're doing. This is what puts food on your table. The person judging you or looking down on you, are they going to give you money? Are they going to carry your burden? Oh, so whatever you're doing, that's where you people can connect with you. Be proud, be authentic, and show up and play full out. And right now, I'm so proud of her. Periodically, I go to her wall and I see her showing up full time. Showing up full time. So be ready before you start going to sponsored ads, either through the Facebook or through Instagram or through LinkedIn or through an influencer. Be sure you have gotten your business to a certain level where you can take that in, whether it's inquiry, whether it is the sales proper. Be sure you get into that point. I'm going to pause now and we're going to take some ads. We're going to take 2 ads. The first ad we're going to take would be on the She Speaks Summit, either the She Speaks Summit or the Power Magazine. And then when we come back, we're going to finalize our conversations. We have just about 11 more minutes to go. So we're going to take our ads. When we take our ads, then we would finalize So we have the gala night. We have the Friday night gala night that is coming up next week, Saturday. Tickets are still on. We're still selling tickets. If you want to get your tickets, um, you use the information on the screen, and they're going to be dropping it in the chat box as well. So you can just come in and join us. You said the gala night that will be happening. I want to see you there. When I really look back on where I am today, each time I do that, it comes with me with a lot of, you know, mixed emotions. Sometimes I really shed tears when I look at the lifestyle I can afford, today. I can travel anywhere I want to. I can afford to buy anything I want to do today. I can afford to do a lot of things which I couldn't do before. So I understand what it means to be in lack. I understand what it means not to know yourself. I understand what it means to have low self-confidence and for people to look down on you because they feel that you're not up to the kind of person they want to engage. I understand that because I have been there. And for this gala night, I'm going to be sharing some of the journey of the She Speaks Summit and what actually made me to conceive the She Speaks Summit. And I'm also going to be showcasing some of the success stories we've had in the last 5 days, in the last 5 years. So I invite you, if you're at a point where you feel that you're not good enough, meanwhile everybody sees an external you. It happened to me where everybody says she's productive, she's this, but inside of you, you're second guessing yourself, asking yourself, am I worthy enough? Am I not a fraud? You self sabotage. Then Friday night, She Speaks Gala Night is a place you want to be in. Or you feel stressed, you don't know how to manage your stress, you don't even know how to, articulate your message. You know you have a message. You know there are people that will gain, whose life will be transformed or impacted by your message, but just do not know how to go about that. Then you want to be at the Friday night, why am I saying Friday night hangout? Oh my goodness. You see how committed I am to Friday hangout. You want to be at the She Speaks Gala Night. You want to really be at a She Speaks Gala Night. So I'm extending this invitation to you to join me on Saturday, 25th of June, next week, Saturday precisely, at the She Speaks Gala Night, where we're going to have beautiful time, beautiful ambience, and come ready. Just come ready to receive. I promise you, you can't come and go empty or go the way you came. There really must be an aha moment for you. There must be that point where you can connect. So I'm inviting you, I'm giving you this invitation and asking you to join on the Friday night hangout. In fact, this Friday night this week will be the last Friday night hangout before the She Speaks Summit. Because next week, Friday, we're going to be having a recorded version of the She Speaks of the Friday night hangout because I'm going to be involved in the She Speaks Summit. I would come on, and do one or two things because we'd be there, but it's not going to be as elaborate. Well, I'll come on next week, Friday, basically for fun, to get us used to the stress and all that. And I want you to join me. So join me in Lagos, Saturday, 25th. And the ticket is 20,000 naira. 20,000 naira. You transfer to PTB account on the screen. You send your evidence to my official phone number. Voila. You get yourself a seat at the She Speaks 5th Gala Night. It's happening in Lagos next week, Saturday. And I also want to remind us of the Power Woman magazine nomination. Now, we had serious technical hitches. A lot of persons told me that they couldn't nominate. A lot of persons told me they couldn't nominate any candidate because we had technical hitches. So I'm deeply apologetic for that. We have handled it, and we're going to also be putting in the chat box the link for you to nominate. This is a link for you to nominate a woman of your choice that has inspired you. We have 5 categories. Please take out time. Just click on this chat, on the link on the chat, and go right ahead and nominate a woman that has inspired you, that has, has an excellent spirit, that has broken ground. We have different levels. And take this time out to really nominate that woman so that her efforts can be recognized. This is also one way of us engaging, of connecting. We're talking about, knowing you, connecting with you, and by you. This is one way of connecting with you. Go right ahead and nominate a woman. Go to the different categories, and it's very simple. In less than 2 minutes, you're done with the nomination. In less than 2 minutes, you're done with the nomination. I also want to ask you to please kindly share this link. We've changed the link, so it's no longer the link that had issues. So please share this particular link. It's highlighted on the screen. Share it, share it, share it, share it in your women network group. Share it, and let's have as many women as possible nominated. We've also extended the time for nomination because of the technical difficulties we had. So please go ahead, nominate a woman of your choice. We're going to have a voting commence immediately after the nomination closes. And July 30th, in celebration of our second year anniversary of the Power Woman magazine, we would be really having our awards night magazine. Now, I hope you're learning the lessons from this. I celebrate every milestone. I do not wait anybody to validate. I keep celebrating the milestone. I keep celebrating, and that's what keeps me going on. I remember when the Friday hand that when I celebrated the 10th episode was a major deal for me, and after the 10th episode, last week Friday, I celebrated the 100th episode, and this is just the beginning of a new season. You also remember that I said this from this week we're going to be spotlighting businesses and all that. Last week we spotlighted EHE Emeka, her business, and I gave because she's the one that runs most of my multimedia what did they call it? Multimedia videos. She's very good. I've really seen how she's grown. And when I talk about growing, she's one key example of how people do grow. And I saw her earlier on in the show, and I'm sure she's still here. And you're hearing me here, I want to say I'm proud of you and how far you've grown. So I recommend that you really, really engage with her, and she would give you what you need, right? So please try and engage with her. If you have any issues of concern, discuss with her. So finally, finally, don't forget to share the link on the Power Woman magazine. Please share, 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 and you also nominate. All of you here with tonight, those of you watching the replay, please click on the link on the chat and nominate a woman today. And finally, before we wrap up, we have about 3 to 4 minutes to wrap up. Before we wrap up, I also want to talk very quickly about the monetary aspects of buying you. This is an aspect almost all of us know about. That's why I didn't go to it, first of all. And the monetary aspect, we're most comfortable. We know that a lot. And that's where people click on, when people, oh, I want this, the money exchange hands and all of those, right? And also, you could also make money from, running ads and all of those stuff. I want you to feel, there's one thing I want to say about the monetary aspects of buying you. Listen, get comfortable. Get comfortable receiving money for the product or service that you offer. Get comfortable as a woman receiving that. One of the things society has done, especially patriarchal society, is to make us feel we're not worthy enough to be paid. We're not worthy enough to receive money in exchange for the product or services that we offer. So oftentimes as women, we undervalue ourselves. Good evening, Favor. Thank you for coming. You can watch the replay because we're wrapping up. But it's good you just met us here, so you still get some very good value. Now, we undervalue ourselves because we have no self-esteem. We feel we're not worthy enough to receive the money, and we just do anyhow we like. We feel uncomfortable talking about money. I want you to notice how comfortable I feel about offering my products and services, because really what I'm offering to you is value. What I'm offering to you is a transformation, and that is what you're really paying for. It's that's you. The investment you're making in you is the investment you're making in you, actually. So don't feel uncomfortable talking about money. Normalize it. It is okay, because as long as you're offering value, please, it is okay. It's okay to talk about it. Like I talked about the gala night. I am offering that opportunity to get to meet you. to get to be inspired, to get rejuvenated. If you're tired, you've tried everything that is not working, that space is where we do a reset. That space is a space where you rejuvenate, you relearn, you get new strategies, fresh ideas on how to move forward. And so sometimes people come to me and say, "Oh, mama, oh, coach, I can't afford this program. Can you give me free? Can you give me discount?" And I will say, "No." You know why? I have free programs. Do you know what it takes every Friday night to stay here, Friday, 7 to 8 p.m.? It's a commitment. And I do all this for free. This is one way I give back. And I try to make, the thematic content as wide as possible. So we're touching different things. I've gotten a lot of testimonies from the Friday night hangout. A lot. I've gotten a lot of testimonies, a lot of things from people who have been following me on the Friday night hangout. I've got someone saying, "Do you know, I since I stepped on Friday night hangout, everything about me has changed. My business acumen has changed, my mind has been transformed, and that is why this Friday night hangout exists. I want you to get transformed. I want you to live your best life possible through my personal experience, life lessons we share, and my professional expertise. So please, do not be afraid to place a value on the product that you offer. It is all part of it. And when people ask for free, I said, if I will need to pay my bills, I pay. In a few months' time, I'm going to traveling to go to my own coaching. You see, I feel I pour out and I go back to get refilled. The kind of investment I make in my personal development, my business development, and my spiritual development is huge. And very deliberately, I map out financial outlay to do all this because I also need people to pour in me. There are people who have gone before me who understands the journey better than I do, and I want to also tap from them, tap from the well of knowledge. So be willing to spend money on yourself. And if you're an entrepreneur, please be very bold to sell your products because you know that you are giving value. You're really serving people. You're serving people. You're really serving because there's a lot of service. For those of you who have been on my She Speaks campus for as long as we, you can see the transformation year in. I always make sure the experience you get is much better than the next one. Is much better than the next one. That is my commitment to you. What is your commitment to yourself? You need to pay for services. You need to pay for products. Not going around asking for free up and down. There's certain things you can't even get from YouTube from good. No matter how much you watch it, there's certain things you can't get for free. So normalize paying to attend programs. Normalize paying for products. Normalize paying for services. That is also an opportunity to grow. That's also an opportunity to grow. And finally, as a vendor and entrepreneur online, patronize other vendors or online entrepreneurs. Those of you in my mentorship school, you see, I tell you the same thing. I'll ask you, how many online vendors have you bought? In fact, Njideka is here, she will tell you. When I was having a mentorship class with her, I said, why do you need to go to market to buy certain things when you can buy from people online? And that's also paying forward. You buy and people buy from you. So people don't like to buy anything online. I want people to buy from you online. How does that work? So I hope you've gotten a lot of value tonight. Remember, tonight we talked about leveraging on social media for your added visibility. We looked at what visibility is. We looked at the key elements of visibility, knowing you, connecting or engaging with you, and buying you. I do hope that you got a lot of value. And as usual, um, I want to know what you got out from today. Let me see the first 3%. Before we wrap up, what did you get out of today? What value are you going out with today? I see Weke Favor saying, yeah, placing value on myself and knowing it's okay for people to pay for the value I offer. Excellent, excellent. Ozioman says so much value. Thank you. Stella Yahoo says too much value. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. I honor and appreciate you. I ask you to please join me again next week, Friday, same time, 7 p.m. Without you, there will be no Friday night hangout. And for those of you who are registered to attend my birthday, make it a date with me. You know, my birthdays are not just for just eating and drinking. There's a whole lot of inspirational stuff attached to it. You grow every day, you learn, you connect, you network, and it's always very memorable. I look forward to seeing you at my birthday. It's Wednesday, 22nd. Those of you who are registered, you have gotten notice by now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Princess says, I got too much value. It is time to patronize other vendors online. True. Very important. And that's where you grow your business. So while you're at it, I want you to start practicing some of the things we discussed today. Remember, I always say when you get knowledge and you not apply it, it doesn't work. So practice some of what you have learned today. You will see yourself growing phenomenally. Until I come back to meet you next week Friday, enjoy your Friday hangout. The stress, I love you, I appreciate you, and I celebrate you. Love you for now, and see you next week Friday. Bye.
Oh yeah,